The Transportation Safety Board of Canada says an Alberta pilot who crashed his plane was flying in deteriorating weather and didn't have the experience to be doing so.
We don't know exactly what happened in the end, but we do know how the aircraft hit the ground because we of course found the aircraft eventually, and then we do know the weather in that area was getting lower and lower. Pilots with this level of experience end up finding themselves flying into bad weather, whether it be in cloud or low visibility. Often the risks are very high.
The plane disappeared on November 25th after it took off from Penticton Regional Airport. Pilot Dominic Nerone and his girlfriend Ashley Bourgault left at about 2:30 p.m. and were reported missing that night when they didn't arrive in Edmonton. Almost 10 months after they went missing, the plane was found by a BC Ambulance Service helicopter crew just 500 feet north of the Trans-Canada Highway. The report states that Nerone would have been flying in low ceilings, fog, and limited visibility.
Cloud layers often in the mountains aren't just one solid flat layer. They can, say, dip into valleys, or they may change slightly in altitude depending on the surroundings, but certainly a little tricky to fly in.
Investigators believe that Nerone was adjusting his height of the aircraft up and down to get below the difficult weather.
As you climb at a certain steep angle, eventually the wing will stop creating lift, and then you'll enter sort of an uncontrolled maneuver called a spin often, and then a loss of control much more worse into the ground. We saw quite a rapid nose-down descent, and that's not something that somebody would do intentionally. So that's the real risk with flying in clouds, is when you're not experienced with flying in clouds and you're not trained and recent and current doing it, it's very difficult. And so a guy of this experience level who didn't have an instrument rating and also not a night rating, that can be very hard for him to just maintain control of the aircraft.
The report made a recommendation for emergency locator transmitters that would have helped locate this aircraft sooner.
A pilot of qualified but limited experience flying into some weather that was unsuitable. And then in the end, that ELT is the big thing here, is that it took so long to find. And that really does point back to that ELT. If that ELT was a more modern unit and it survived, it was better built to better standards, they would have been able to find this aircraft right away, and then that would have been better for everybody.
For Castanet News, I'm Alana Kelly in Kelowna.